Big Poppy in the house. All right, we're at video 4. So what we did last time is we drilled a hole in the side of our project box. Here's your grommet. You're going to take it and put it in that hole and work it in there. Takes a little bit to pop that in. And what this is going to do is protect all your wires going out to your primer feed tube. And when you're finished, that's what it's going to look like. Okay, we'll set that aside. You know, in previous videos we've already got the control panel labeled, marked, and installed. We'll set that aside. Okay, now the next thing is here is your photo relay sensor, and it's called a slot. And again, you want to have 4 wires instead of 3. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 here because I needed to buy another one that's got 4 on it. But I'll show you basically what you need to do up to this point. You're going to take your female power supply 2 wires. One's going to be red, one's going to be black. You're going to take and make a wire off to the side of the positive. And we'll be using that later when we go up to the primer alarm system. And you're going to take and put on here. The way that this works is these are like your 1 and your 2 pins that I told you need to have, and if you buy them already pre-made, it makes it a lot easier. This one to the outside, first one is your ground. The second one is your power supply. Okay. Then you'll have 2 and 2 on the 4 that I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, your ground comes off this outside first one, and the ground comes into the center part of the back of this relay sensor. Okay? Now, the buzzard has a ground and a negative, and this red, which is your second one over, I come out because I'm going to have to show you how to put the other pieces on. So you're going to come out, you're going to make a T. You're going to take the wire of the positive coming in, the red positive from your buzzard, and your red positive from your circuit board here are going to come off, and you're going to use a wire tie. You can use connectors, whatever you feel like using. You're going to make that connection. And then this black comes off, and it goes into this last station here, number 3, and you'll put that inside there. Okay, so now what has happened is we have installed everything up to this point before the wire that comes out and goes to the primer right here. So these wires will be the next video. So if you've got everything correctly installed to this point, you want to take your power supply, you want to plug it in. Alright, now when you plug that in, you should see this red light. Okay, now what I've done is, because this little buzzer thing is pretty loud, here's the sensor. If I take this off, it will activate that. And when you block the plane, it goes off. So I want you to think about that when that wire comes up, and it's going to be on the right, basically here, is once those primers are not blocking that sensor, it's going to allow the alarm to go off because it's telling you that you're low or out. Okay? Now these that come with the system are too small. They're too small where you can't put them on the sides, you can't put them on the top, and this is the reason for coming back and buying these that are 2564s. And you'll notice on the back of it, it's got 2 pins coming out of the back on each side. This system works because guess what? That fits on your primer feed, and you don't have to do a whole bunch of adjusting and making some other components. Okay, so this is where I upgraded to my system. So the old system, which was a 3-wire, is I had to go to the side because I never had anything big enough like what you're seeing here. Here's another example. It's not wide enough. So what I had to do is take a circuit board and make it and drill a hole on both sides and run a sensor through the side of this. Okay? Alright, so what we have left to do is to go ahead and start looking at tying these controls together to the system here that we've already completed. Now remember, a couple things is go through here and put solder on all your fittings, your wires and ends. And some you could do that, you could use the wire ties, whatever works for you. Okay, now if you wire this correctly from the wires that I have here, which I'm going to show you, to the control panel here, you will be able to control on and off for the entire system. A couple people have done this online and a couple different ways, and I changed a few things to work for me where I can actually take all this system and make it one instead of having multi power cords and different things, and I don't like wires hanging out. So what you want to do is on this switch panel now is you want to take the left wire on the back. Left wire, this is your power supply feed that's going to go into the switch. You will take this and you will take that where I showed you to come off with one red wire. You're going to take this and take that left wire and you're going to hook these together. Okay? Alright. And go ahead and these fittings that I showed you earlier on the back, on the browns that I put on the vibration thing where it feeds your primers, go ahead and cut these two off. Go ahead and strip your wire. Okay, and we'll have to come back and tin those, of course. Alright. Now, also, with this red and black that has our supply power coming in and going to the feed to the switch, you're going to take the light, you're going to take one of those wires, and you're also going to connect it here. Well, I hate the 12 minutes, 15 minutes we get, so I'm going to have to keep going with my videos. Good shooting and thank you.